What's up, guys? This is the long-awaited video on big button mode, and I'm going to try to explain it very simple. So, normally on most brokers, there is four buttons, two buttons. They'll look something like this where my mouse is, or something like this where my mouse is again. You'll see a buy market and a sell market. On almost every single broker, there will be a buy market or a sell market. Now, these are different from limit orders. Limit orders would be, if NQ comes down to this spot, I want to buy one. Or if NQ comes up to this spot, I want to sell one. Or, if QQQ goes to this spot, I want to sell a share. If it goes to this spot, I want to buy a share. Same thing for options. You can put limit orders. So if, 370 calls go to this price, I want to buy one. And then if I'm in those calls or puts, it goes to this price, I'm going to sell one at 80 cents or a dollar, whatever. I think everyone knows that. And if everyone doesn't know big button mode, it's very simple. This is your order flow chart, okay? This is the bid, this is the ask, okay? So when you're buying something, you're buying it normally at the ask when it's by market. So when you go in and put a limit order, you normally won't get filled at the bid. So on Weeble, if you guys see this, this is the bid right here, 20, and this is the ask, 21. So when you're getting filled, if you put a limit order at 20, so if this contract is just sitting here, 20 to 21, bid to ask, if this contract is just sitting at 20 and you put a limit order in, it might take a second to get filled. It might take a minute, could take 5 minutes, depending on the contract. But if you put a bid at 21, you get filled instantly, if anyone notices that. So the reason why big button mode is so important is it's hard putting limit orders. If you're on your phone, it could take, sometimes you need to just be in a play and be out. If you're a trader who likes to scalp, you're a trader who has troubles getting filled. I know people who, they watch this contract, they're like, oh man, I'm gonna put a limit at 20, and they don't get filled at 20. They watch the contract go to 25, and they're like, well, I'm gonna put it at 24 because that's what the bid is, but the ask is 25, and they watch the contract go from 29 to 30, and then boom, like they just missed 10 cents per contract or 9 cents because they didn't buy the ask. So with this, big button mode is to help you, and I'm gonna explain it pretty simple. So back to Trade real quick. So with Trade it's pretty simple, and I guess I'll show a live example. Am I on micro? Yeah. Okay. So if I want to buy bid, it's gonna take a second, and I'm out. You see how it took a second to be bought because it's putting one at the bid, which is just right below it. Which this is the bid, this is the ask. So when I put the bid in, it was putting me in at this price, waiting for orders to get filled. But if I buy market, it just filled me right there at this red, which is the ask. So I get filled instantly. Does that make sense? So if you want to join the bid, which is buy bid, it's going to be filling you at the bid price, which is always cheaper than market. And if you sell the ask, it's going to be one higher. So it's going to be the asking price. Does that make sense? So what I tell people is buy market, sell ask. If you're selling into strength, whether it be upside or downside on an option contract or futures, sell the ask. Because when you're selling into strength, you're selling as prices pushing higher and higher and higher. So when you see, and actually let me put this wherever it is, I don't know. Okay. When you see, that's not what I wanted. I don't know where this is for whatever reason. Okay, sorry. So okay, this could be my example. Okay. So when you see price doing its little thing where it chops around, whatever. But then when you see, really big knives and you see price just keep going down and down and down, or, you see price keep going, straight up and up again. And excuse me, this is an awful example. And I'll kind of go show, this is going to be the 3-minute chart for ES. We're going to go to last week. So when you see price just staircase up, that's where you want to sell the ask, or staircase down, you want to sell the ask as well. But when you see prices just kind of chopping and you're taking these little scalps, and price is pretty stagnant, and if you're, you buy puts here, then you're trying to get out, whatever, as we're chopping low or we're, chopping higher, that's when you want to sell bid or sell market as well. You want to get in and out. So if I go to this video, okay, remember, this is the bid, this is the ask on every contract, on every limit order, on if you're buying shares, penny stocks, whatever, options, futures, there's always going to be a bid and ask. Okay, keep that in mind. So you'll see me here put in, so okay, you can see there the bid just dropped 19 to 21 on options. There will be a spread between the bid and the ask. Okay, so when there's a drop like that, and this could be a whole nother video, this is why I don't like putting limit orders, because most of you people would put a limit order at 19 and you would not get filled. Okay, and you'll see, I think this corrects itself back to 20, but it just dropped in price. So now the new bid and ask is, the bid's 19, the ask is 20. So if, earlier in this video, if you would have put an order in at the bid at 20, you probably would not have gotten filled. You wouldn't have gotten filled. When it got filled, you probably would have got filled now, because they're dropping the ask and they're dropping the spread on the contract. So now it's 19 to 20. So you probably would have got filled on that bid. But right now, let's say you put, a limit at 19, you're probably not getting filled for a while until the bid drops down to 18 and the ask drops down to 19. Or if it has a big spread. So if it has a 3-cent spread, so let's say it was 18 to 20, you would probably get filled at 19. But the issue is with limits is you guys are always constantly going in, and time is of not of the essence when you're trading options. You need to be quick. You need to understand what your fill is. You need to get in and you need to get out. It can't be something where you're taking forever, because we'll go back to the chart. If you're in calls here, okay, if you're in calls writing this up and then you see this hammer candle, or if you're in calls here and this candle hammers out, you're putting limit orders and you're trying to get filled. Oh, I'm gonna sell it, man. I'm down 10%. I'm gonna sell here. And then boom, your limit order is blown out of proportion because the bid and the ask of the contract got moved lower than your limit, and then you move your limit again, and then boom, the bid and the ask is moving, because the bid and the ask is moving every single second of the day, for a contract, for futures, for stocks, for shares. It's moving all the single time. There needs to be a buyer and a seller. Okay, so with that, that's why I don't like limits. I like limits for if you want to, I want to buy this contract at this price, because, in my head, I did the math, or on a calculator, I did the math that, if QQQ goes to 370, I know that these next day puts are probably going to be X amount of dollars, or around X amount of dollars, because you've been watching the option chain so much, what a 1 DTE put looks like at 3 p.m. when it's $2 out the money, or 2 p.m. out, when it's $2 out the money, and that it'll be around this dollar. That's when I like doing limits. Okay. Now, when you open up Weeble, okay, you'll see this little triangle right here at the top of your screen. Okay. This, if I believe, let me open up the app real quick, because I did not record this the way I wanted it to. This will tell you that, so normally you go to, you pop a stock, let's pick NVIDIA, you go to options, you click your option contract, okay? Once you click that, it'll say trading settings, which I should add in the video, but I'm not. It'll say your default trading account if you have multiple accounts, but it'll say classic, or it'll say TurboTrader, Okay, you want to click TurboTrader, and then under that, it'll say Page Style Easy Switch. So when it says Page Style Easy Switch, you will get this little switch right here, this blue switch. So I would recommend clicking that. So instead of having to, if you want to flip between limit orders and, TurboTrader, you just hit this little switch right here on Weeble in the top right hand corner, and it'll just flip it in a second, rather than you having to go back in, hit this rectangle or hit this hexagon, and then click it to classic mode and then click out of it and whatever. It's just a flip. It's really quick, really simple. Okay, so once you have TurboTrader, let's see if it scrolls down. Okay, it does not scroll down for whatever reason. So if you scroll down to the very bottom, it'll say edit button. So it'll be right under this day P&L and your day realized. It's a little edit button. Okay, if you click that edit button, it'll say buy ask, sell bid, buy bid, sell ask, buy stop, sell stop, and available buttons, sell market, buy market. Okay, so it's 100% customizable. I like to have buy market, sell market, so I can get in and I can get out instantly. To buy the ask is pretty much the same thing. You're buying the asking price, which is normally market. Okay. To sell the bid, it's normally the bid price. Okay, so normally you'll get filled instantly if the spread is very tight. Now, I'm not going to talk about option contract spreads. I might at the end of the video, but normally SPY, QQQ, all those contracts have a pretty tight, it's usually 1 to 2 cent bid to ask, the spread. Now, when you get into you're $10 in the money, your SPY contract might be, $5.49 for the bid, and that might be $5.56 for the ask. Okay, whole different story, but a 7 cent difference in the bid and the ask is why people will sell the ask, because they want that extra 7 cents per contract. Okay, and if you buy the market, you might be like, oh wow, that's weird. On the green it says 5.49, but my fill is 5.55. Well, that's because you bought market, so you bought the market price, which is going to be the ask. So there's some pros and cons with this, and I'll get there. And then, so again, buy the bid is going to be buying this bid price, which is right here on the left, and selling the ask is going to be selling the asking price. Okay, so, and I think I screwed it up. When you buy market, you'll be buying the ask, and then when you sell the market, normally you're selling the bid. Sorry, I'm not even going to fix that. But because when you sell market, you're getting filled instantly like that, which is the bid price. Okay, when you're buying market, you're getting filled at the ask, which is the the asking price. You'll get filled instantly. Okay, same thing when it's the same thing. So basically, buy ask and buy market are the same thing. Okay, and then sell market is the same thing as sell bid, but the issue is, and why I don't sell market, is because sometimes if you're playing 0 dates on Weeble, it won't let you buy or sell market. Okay, sometimes it won't. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so these two buttons, sometimes it will not let you use them on 0 dates. So when I take orders on 0 dates, okay, I will just buy the ask outright most of the time, and I will sell the ask. So I'll buy the ask and I'll sell the ask. Okay, sometimes if I am not getting filled at sell the ask, sometimes I'll sell bid. And if you want to cancel your order, you see this cancel all, because, and you'll see right here. So if I play the video, you'll see I put a bid at 15. Okay, B for bid, 15 contracts. Okay, and you can see here I canceled it. Your limit order to buy 15 contracts has been canceled at 0.19 because I bought the bid. I bought 15 contracts at the bid, and I canceled it because I hit cancel all because I was not getting filled. because I bought the bid. This is the bid, this is the ask, okay? And you'll see me, I don't know if you just saw, I hit buy ask. I'll go back, you guys can see it. You can see when I click it. You'll see me 15 contracts. I clicked buy ask, and you'll just see how the contract price moved from 19 to 20, and then it just moved 20 to 21. Let me go back to that first. Your order to buy NVIDIA has partially filled with 5 contracts with an average price of 20, and you have 10 contracts to be filled. So I did not get filled all the way because I was not buying market, but I was buying the ask, okay? There's reasons why you can't buy market and sell market on Weeble, but I'm not going to get into that. And then you'll see, your order has been partially filled with 8 contracts. And just remember, this was Friday. These were 0 dates, okay? And on top of that, Weeble's not the greatest, but it is really good. I think their big button mode is great, but it's not like TOS. TOS is a lot bigger. So sometimes when you buy, I'll say more than 10 contracts, sometimes you might get partially filled. It doesn't happen all the time. These were really far out the money. Just keep that in mind. So it wasn't like they had a lot of volume and open interest. But I did get eventually all filled. So I guess I didn't show all of it, but oh no, it did. Yeah, because I bought 5, then 8, then 7. Okay, and then let me go to the end of the video. So, no, I guess I didn't get all the way filled in this video, but I got filled right after. So, when you get filled, you'll see your P&L, how much is on the play. You'll see your day realized, which is how much money is in the play, and what I've noticed is these are usually the same thing most of the time. The day realized will on the actual contracts and on the actual position you have on that one ticker or on that one contract, that'll show you like after your Weeble fees, which normally your Weeble fees are really cheap. So you can see I was up $4. I didn't make anything yet because of all the Weeble fees. It's like 20 cents a contract. It's really cheap, okay? But under that, it'll show you, you're in X amount of positions, you're in 10 contracts, whatever. But let's go back to this. So I still had orders going, I think 2 or 3. I could have hit cancel, but I just waited because I was buying the ask, so I was going to get filled no matter what. When you buy ask, you will get filled no matter what. It doesn't give a shit about your fill. You'll get it, okay? When you buy bid, so like if I put a bid at 19 and these contracts went from, you saw when I put the bid in, they went back to 20 to 21 bid to ask, and let's say they just went to $2, I would never get filled because I bought a bid. So in that point of time, my bid was 19 cents for 15 contracts. It would have stayed there until the ask went back to 19 and the bid went to 18, if you're kind of catching my point. So when you're in big button mode and you're in a position, okay, it'll say close all X amount of contracts, okay? If you want to get out of all your contracts without having to go here and click, 15 contracts or 5 contracts, if you want to close all of them instantly, hit close right here, bottom right hand corner. If you want to sell certain contracts, so you click here, you can click these numbers, you can customize these as 2, so you can make it 5, 10, 15, 1, 2, 3, whatever. You can click them, sell bid or sell ask, depending on what you want to do. Sell bid, you'll get filled instantly. Sell ask, you'll be filled at the asking price. So what I like to do is when I'm selling into strength, I will sell the ask because, keep this in mind, sometimes when you sell ask and the stock's dumping and I'm in puts, you'll see the bid and the ask will be moving really quick. You'll see it 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 30, 31, 40, 42, and it's just moving constantly. When you sell ask, sometimes you'll get filled higher than what the asking is. So if you're in calls and you want to get out at $1 and you sell ask and we're pumping, you might get filled at $1.05. Okay? If you're in puts and your puts are, 50 to 51 cents, sometimes you'll get filled at like 55, which is good for you. You're making more money because you're selling into strength. Makes sense? But if you're not selling into strength, I recommend selling bid because you'll get out like that. Or hit cancel all if you want to get out of all of them at one time in an instant. Okay? Keep that in mind. So, and also if you want to flip to limits, take profits, whatever, you can click this button. Okay? So it's pretty simple. And if you normally when you guys put limit orders, you got to go into Weeble, and then you got to go to your home page, then you got to go to orders, and then you got to cancel the order, go back to the stock, and then click the stock, then go to options, and then whatever. Fuck that bullshit. Okay? Big button mode, Turbo Trader. I'm serious. Everyone should be using it. And if you don't, and you miss a percent, following me or whatever, it's probably why, because you're not getting in and out quick enough. And I'm serious, it will lose you money over time. So if, let's say, I had placed my bid like I did, at 19, okay? And then you see the bid and the ask, I canceled it, but pretend I didn't, okay? It jumps to 20 to 21, and then, it keeps, sky rising, okay? When you hit cancel all, it goes into your orders and cancels all your orders. So you don't have to leave this screen, go to your home page, go to your orders at the top, at the top of your screen, cancel the order on the very far right. Cancel all will just cancel it for you. So you could stay on this. So when I'm in a position, I stay on this page the entire fucking time. And what's nice about this too is when you have an open position, if you click that position and you click buy, instead of sell limit, when it drops down your 3 charts, instead of sell limit, okay, it'll say buy. You click buy, and this automatically opens Turbo Trader. Or, if you want to be a dumbass and, hit sell limit or, sell to close, whatever it is, you'll be popped back up, to your normal screen with your limits. You can click, the little switch if you turn it on. It'll open up big button mode, but if you want to, be quicker, just hit buy, and it'll immediately pop you up to big button. Okay? And also a couple notes. I know I've been talking for way too long. These little arrows right here. So this is your option chart. So you see the option low was, 08. The high was 23. This will show you the chart of the options. I'm hoping everyone knows that. If you don't, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Your bid and your ask. Okay. And then this, another arrow, if you don't want to have, you could actually have the stock chart up as well right here. You could change the time frames. You could put indicators on it. So if you want to just stay on this screen, so if you're doing it all from your phone, you could literally see the entire chart of the stock you're trading, plus the contract chart, which you could add indicators to, but I wouldn't. And you could change the time frames, which is really cool. So keep that in mind. And another thing, which is pretty cool, they added a setting. So if you go into big button mode and if you go to that customize buttons for option, or it's the edit buttons at the very bottom, you could put take profits in. So it'll be, mine says buy ask or buy bid, take profit, stop loss. You can edit it. So right now for me, if I buy the ask, I have an immediately take profit at 40%. So it automatically, when I get filled at the ask for one contract, it has a take profit limit order puts in for me at 40%, which is pretty cool. So for you guys who like, I take profit at 20% no matter what, I take profit at fucking 25% no matter what. This is why, because it puts it in for me. So when I buy ask and I get filled, I already have a limit order going, which saves me time. And you could also do this. It could also put a stop loss order if you want to. You could put a stop loss order. If you see here, you could put a take profit order and a stop loss order, which is really cool. You could do the same thing for buy ask, buy bid, buy market. sell market. You can do a buy stop, a sell stop. So it is really cool, what I think. But yeah, that is big button mode. I hope it's kind of simple. It's really easy. It's really neat. It'll definitely help you out in the long run, and I'll tell you that. I think Weeble has a great job on the interface, and I think it's really quick. It's not as, quick as some others, but I think it is extremely quick for what you need it to, and it gets the job done, and it'll help every single one of you. Because when you have the ability to, okay, you see me say, hey, I'm grabbing these contracts at 50 cents, and you go into the orders and you see them, the bid is 61, the ask is 62, and you put a bid at 61, you don't get filled, then they go to 65, you put a bid at 64, and so on, and it keeps, like, you get screwed. But if you see they're at 61 to 62, bid to ask, you just buy the ask, you're filled like that. And you don't, yes, if you want to be, oh, I don't let a play go down 20%, like 1 cent is not going to kill you on a contract, because I promise you that's what they are. I promise you, if you just buy the ask, it's a 1 cent difference. Now, I would not use big button mode for if any of you guys trade something that is really spready. So if you go trade, we'll say, like NVIDIA contracts on a Monday, those contracts are pretty spready. Or like Carvana weekly contracts, they're pretty spready, where the bid to ask might be a 20 cent difference. I would not use this. I would not use big button mode, because, and this doesn't apply to really anyone besides, I think, me, who trades, or like for news, on news trades, when you see, we'll say like Carvana gets news midday, stock pumps up 10%, and you see, 1 cent contracts go to like $2 contracts. If you're chasing that and you're buying market, or you're buying the ask, and then you immediately go to your, you see you're down 30%, it's because those contracts are so spready. That's when people put limit orders at the bid, so because they want to get filled at the bid. So I've seen this happen, like on news plays, like you'll see a contract that like the bid is 30 cents and the ask is like $1.50. If I'm chasing that play because I want it, I'm putting limit orders at the bid, or I'm buying the bid on big button mode, and I'm just waiting, because if somehow I get filled, if some dumbass is selling their contract at 30 cents and somehow I get filled, I can go ahead and turn around and sell that contract for half of the ask, 60 cents, 70 cents to some sucker who's putting limit orders, and I can get filled instantly and make an easy 100% like that with like no time. But that only applies to news, and I won't get too into that. But if your contracts are really spready, more than 5 to 10 cents, I would not use this. On SPX, that's a little bit of a different story, but I won't get into that, because I think for the people who trade SPX, the bid and ask is a little bit different. But for everyone else, this is how you use big button mode, and I highly recommend you at least try it. And if you don't want to try it on options, try it on shares first.